If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Now, The Hunt Palmer Show. This is a catastrophe. You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Mercedes-Benz. Nope, that's the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city. That's what happens when I try to text a tweet and intro the show. It doesn't work. Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Wednesday. Not after work week in the rearview mirror. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Appreciate you hanging out with us here. Lots and lots to get to over the next 2 hours. Let's talk to Matthew Bruni about what we saw in the PMAC last night coming up in 15 minutes. I don't have the heart to get into it currently by myself, so we'll let Bruni do that coming up in 15 minutes. It's What If Wednesday coming up at 1:30. Be sure to get your what ifs in. Got a couple of those that have come in via Twitter already. Get to some of those on YouTube as well. Will Campbell finally met with the media this week. What did Will Campbell have to say? We'll get to some of that at the end of this hour. Koki Riley in what will now be his normal Wednesday slot, talking LSU baseball at 2 o'clock. What's Spencer Rattler's trade value? Should the Saints look into that? We'll do some of that as well. So let's crank it up the way we do every day with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
So it's about baseball time, right? Friday, 2 o'clock, first pitch from the box every year. I give you some bold predictions, some bolder than others. But we check in on them about halfway through the season, and then at the end of the line, we tally what we've got and see how I did. I have not actually gone back to see how I did on last year's predictions, but usually it's a hit or miss bag. And usually I've got a pretty good reason for my prediction, but we know in a 56-game baseball season, things get weird. And so this is one of my favorite things to do every year. And I love going back and grading it and just kind of seeing how things shake out. So let's get into it. I've got 5 this year. Got 5 bold predictions for this LSU baseball season. Number 1, LSU leads the SEC in strikeouts through the regional round. That's my projection. Now, I have a caveat in this projection, and it is without a pitcher finishing in the top 3 of the SEC in strikeouts. The reason I feel this way is I don't know who LSU's ace definitely is going to be. Last year, LSU had the top 2 of the top 3 strikeout pitchers in the Southeastern Conference. Cade Anderson eventually passed Liam Doyle and led the nation in strikeouts, certainly leading the SEC in strikeouts. And Anthony Einstein was 3rd. And I don't know that LSU is going to develop that from a starting pitching standpoint. But I do think, based on the outline that I laid out yesterday and the stuff that this staff has in the bullpen, plus the track record of Nate Yeskie, who has had the SEC's leader in strikeouts as far as his staff goes the last 2 seasons. Even the team that lost in the regional round led the SEC in strikeouts that year and certainly did last year going all the way and winning a national championship. I think they're going to do it again. I think a lot of the lifting here is going to be done by the bullpen. I think Maverick Rizzi's going to strike a lot of guys out. I think Zach Cowan's going to strike a lot of guys out. I think Devin Sheeran's going to strike a lot of guys out. I think Gavin Guidry is going to strike a lot of guys out. I think Marcos Paz is going to strike a lot of guys out. I think Ethan Plog is going to strike a lot of guys out. I think LSU is going to strike a lot of hitters out. And also you get this light non-conference schedule, which does help. So I think LSU leads the SEC in strikeouts, and I'm going to cut that off at the regional round. And I think they're going to have it do that without having a pitcher in the top 3 in the conference in individual strikeouts. That is bold prediction number 1. Number 2, I think LSU will have 4 pitchers on this team with multiple saves this year. Last year, you had Cowan, you had Evans, you had Shores, and you also had one more pitcher with multiple saves. I'll let you, if you're driving around, think about that. But Cowan and Evans were your 2 bullpen horses really all year, and then Shores took over. Those three. There was a fourth that had multiple saves. It was Anthony Ianson. He had a save in the SEC tournament against A&M, and then he closed out the regional against Little Rock with a save. Hit 2. Now, I'm not banking on that. I think there are going to be 4 dudes out of this bullpen that just based on matchups and based on the way LSU pitches and the fact that I don't think there's a designated closer, I think there's just a lot of bullpen weapons. I think you're just going to have a lot of different guys close out games. And I think you're going to have 4 pitchers with multiple saves. You did last year, but one of them was a starter who was sprung into that duty late in the season twice. I think you'll have 4 dudes get it done this year. So, again, something that happened last year, just like leading the SEC in strikeouts. So not out of the question, but I do think the structure of the pitching staff lends itself to a little bit of a different way to do things, and these 2 predictions indicate that. Let's stick with pitching. One more pitching, and then I got 2 on the offensive side. I think Cooper Moore will make 10 starts in SEC play. That's all 10 weekends. I'm not convicted in that with Case and Evans just yet. I'm not convicted in that with William Schmidt or Cooper Williams. I feel like Cooper Moore has the best chance to make 10 SEC starts. And I think they'll come on Saturdays and Sundays. But I think he'll be a piece to this weekend rotation all year. Because that's where he's best suited. He's shown it. You could do like a Zach Hess deal like Gabe Gackle at Arkansas last year with Case and Evans. If, hey, he's kind of overextending. He's only making it through 3 2/3. He does have good strikeout numbers, but he's walking some guys, and he's having to give way early, and maybe he's just a little bit more effective at the back end of the game. I'm not betting on that. I think Case and Evans is going to be just fine. I am leaving the door open for it, and I think the door is welcome open because there are other options. It's pretty doable to think about an LSU rotation that has William Schmidt at the front, Cooper Moore on game 2s, and Cooper Williams on game 3s with Evans going back to the bullpen. Like, that's not crazy. It means that Evans hasn't thrown the ball as well as we thought he might, but it's not crazy. And again, I'm not betting on it. But it would be easy. It's hard to move somebody out of the rotation if you just don't have anybody to put in there. I think LSU does have options to put in there. So I think Cooper Moore is the most likely starter to go the distance, and I will take him to make 10 regular season SEC starts. I'm leaving myself susceptible to injury there, but I'm doing that basically with anything I do. So Cooper Moore making 10 starts. Those are my 3 on the pitching side. LSU leads the SEC in strikeouts through the regional round and doesn't have a pitcher in the top 3 in strikeouts in the league. 4 pitchers have multiple saves on the year, and Cooper Moore makes 10 SEC starts. Those are my 3 predictions on the pitching side. Let's go to the offense. This is a double-pronged projection on both ends of the spectrum. I do not think LSU has a 20 home run hitter this year. Jared Jones reached that number. Tommy White reached that number. Dylan Cruz reached that number. It's a tough number to get to. I don't think LSU has a 20 home run hitter. And you might say, well, that's not very bold, Hunt. Like, I don't see a slugger on this team. You've been saying that. Like, that seems kind of obvious. Okay, let's throw a caveat on the back end of it. I think LSU has 6 guys that will hit 10. 6 guys hit 10. Nobody hits 20. And I think as I look around the diamond at that starting 8, you take the DH out here for the purposes of the visual. Aaron Beatty's got a good shot. That's 1. York's got a great shot. That's 2. Second base is depends on how the platoon works out, but you've got a chance there. I think Milam has a really good shot. I think Caraway has a really good shot. So I've got 4. Catcher, first, second, and third I feel good about. Stanfield's not hitting 10 home runs. Curiel, I think, does. Brown, I think, does. So I've got catcher, first base, shortstop, third base, center field, right field. That's 6. Plus, there's second base and DH, and I think I find another guy there if as an insurance policy if one of these guys comes a couple short. Maybe Curiel hits 8 or 9. But I think between Dardar, Reeves, and Simpson at second, and then those guys platooning at DH when they're not playing second base, I think I got a really good chance with 7 real threats. Take Stanfield out of the mix. I think I can get 6 guys to 10. Keep in mind, I looked at a stat sheet from last year. Last year, 10 home run players for LSU. Fry had 13. Jones had 22. Dickinson had 12. Milam had 11. You only had 4 get to double digits last year, and you played all the way to the end. So I think saying 6 is fairly bold. And then when you couple it with nobody hitting 20, I think it's a reasonable take here. So I'll take that as my 4th. And then my last one, this one would probably have a little bit more teeth if there wasn't as much preseason coverage around LSU baseball as there is. My guy Musso has been talking LSU baseball every morning for 3 weeks. John Eads over at AFB has been filming practice all the time. You've got a lot of folks that go out to scrimmages, and Tiger Droppings is littered with information, and On 3 is littered with information, and I'm talking about it on here, and Matt's doing Morning Scone and his show, and like there's a lot of content in preseason baseball. There was a time back when I started on the beat, like nobody talked about fall ball. Nobody talked about early season baseball. And so I could generally, with as much as I was going out there in my single days, like come up with something that nobody really knew about. So this one is not as bold as it once was, but I feel okay about it. I don't think he's going to start on opening day. But I've got Mason Braun over 3 NCAA tournament at-bats. That might mean he breaks his way into the starting lineup. It might mean he is the left-handed pinch hitter. It might mean he's a platoon guy who only faces right-handed starters. But I got Mason Braun over 3 postseason at-bats for LSU. Not a lot of garbage time in postseason, so he's going to have to figure in at some point. I didn't give hits. I didn't give homers, but I gave Mason Braun over 3 postseason at-bats. And again, no one would have even heard of Mason Braun if we weren't covering it as closely as we are. And I'm thrilled that we do. I'm glad we do. But I'm just saying, like, now everybody's kind of pointed towards that. It doesn't have quite as much teeth as it once did. But these are my 5 LSU baseball, quote-unquote, bold predictions. You tell me how bold you think they are. LSU's staff leads the SEC in strikeouts through the regional round, and they do not have a pitcher in the top 3 in the conference in strikeouts individually. 4 pitchers collect multiple saves. Cooper Moore makes 10 SEC weekend starts. 6 LSU guys hit 10 home runs, but none of them hit 20 home runs. And Mason Braun takes 3 postseason NCAA tournament at-bats as a freshman. Those are my bold predictions. Welcome your comments on those in the Bayou Ford chat, of course, on Twitter as well. I'll write this out in longer form on LouisianaSports.net. There'll be a morning story tomorrow. But I wanted to get those on the air and on the record. And we got it clipped. I know what day we're doing it. I'll have the story on LouisianaSports.net to reference as well. I'll probably check back on it like tax day-ish, somewhere in the middle of April, see how things are looking. And then when the dust settles, wherever that is, hopefully it's Nebraska, I'll have them, and we'll see just how I did. I'd like to go 4 out of 5 there. I'd like to go 4 out of 5. We'll see. Preseason's fun. Baseball seasons are fun. We'll get to it starting up on Friday. All right, Matthew Bruni from the Bengal Tiger when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com. If you're a business owner and all you know about your insurance program is it costs a lot and you know when it comes out every month, well, what does it cover? What don't you have covered? Are there any special policies that apply to your line of business that you may not have had proper access to? Do you have questions about what your insurance program does in the event of a hurricane if your power goes out and you can't access the office? Do you have questions about whether or not you're covered if one of your employees clicks something he or she is not supposed to click and your system's compromised? Do you have questions about your auto coverage or whether or not your workers' comp is properly rated, which could be costing you money? These are the things that the Highland Insurance Group takes a look at. They make sure that their clients are covered properly. Premium's always important. They know that. And they've got dozens of carriers they're contracted with. They can shop your coverage to make sure you've got the proper rate. But the coverage is the most important part, because the last thing you want to do is spend significantly on insurance premium up front, and then you don't have coverage and you're having to pay an uncovered claim on the back end. That's what you can't have. Call Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Highland Insurance Group or find them online at HighlandIG.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
In that break, I did go back and look at my bowl predictions from last year at this time for LSU baseball. I put those in the Bayou Ford chat. I'll talk about them in our next segment before we get into What If Wednesday. If you've got what ifs, fire away in the Bayou Ford chat. And you can hit me up on Twitter at HuntPalmer88. Talking hoops, Matthew Bruni from the Bengal Tiger, part of the team over at On3, joins us on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Matthew, how are you?
I'm doing great, Hunt. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Describe the environment in the Assembly Center last night for those that were not there, and by my eye, not many were there.
Yeah, I don't know how many of the listeners here were in attendance last night, so I'll do a great job at painting that picture of just a dejected, desolate, empty, embarrassed, frustrated group of, 2,000 LSU fans and maybe 1,000 Arkansas fans, something like that. I mean, just really, really empty. And the boos started coming in when you had those sequences, and I don't even know how many people were watching in the second half, but the sequences where they just missed 3 or 4 shots at the rim in succession, and just people started booing. It was really not great there. That's what happens when you continue to get embarrassed like this, and I was not surprised, and I'm not saying that fans shouldn't be upset. I mean, a 30-point loss at home to anybody, especially, an okay Arkansas team, but an Arkansas team that was still without a couple key players is an embarrassing loss.
It was, and I think offensively they struggled. I can pretty much explain that with Thomas McKinnon not playing, Reed not there, and it is what it is. But defensively, I just think they're terrible. Why do you think they're so bad defensively?
Yeah, that's been the biggest real surprised without Thomas. I thought without Thomas, the offense would struggle as it has, but I thought the defense, at the very least, would be able to hold its own because Thomas is not some sort of great, big point of attack defender for LSU. So I thought, you put in Rashad King at point guard, who obviously has size, and you put him with an already big front court, and I thought, okay, they can at least defend, but obviously over the past 2-3 weeks, they haven't defended anybody really, and we've had these pass and we've had these 10-minute stretches where teams will score 30 points in 10 minutes and they'll score 50 plus points in a half, and I've been really disappointed. I think that's probably where this team has fallen apart more than anything. Again, without Thomas, the offense is always going to be hit or miss, it's going to be inconsistent, but to allow 91 to Arkansas last night, 83 to Georgia, 85 Arkansas, 80 to Mississippi State. I mean, they're not guarding and they're not dominating in the paint the way that they need to. So that's been the most disappointing thing.
I know that Matt McMahon has said they changed ball screen coverages a little bit, and sure they have, but to the untrained eye, you're not seeing significant adjustments on the defensive side in terms of just trying something else defensively. Are you surprised that they just kind of continue to stick in that man-to-man that gets torched night after night?
To a degree, coaches have what they know, and coaches do with what they are comfortable with, so I'm not sure. I would love for them to, and I'm not even a zone guy. I don't like zone personally in terms of watching it and seeing it play out. But, I mean, as a coach, with the size that they have, you would think you can sprinkle in some 1-3-1, some 2-3, just some different looks, a half-court press, something to try to get them off balance. Because my gripe with this team since day one, since Tarleton State's opening game, was they don't force turnovers. They don't heat the ball up. They don't make the teams uncomfortable. And I don't care who you are, but especially with the size that they have, it was just really jarring to me that they don't force teams out of their sets. They don't force teams to really be uncomfortable. They did a good job early in the year, making them take some tough shots later in the clock, which is great. But again, there's no substitute for forcing turnovers in any sport, football, basketball, anything, and they just don't do that. So I do think it would have been nice to throw something else at some teams.
How do you find this team's effort?
Before last night, I would have said the effort was actually pretty good. I just think last night where they got punched in the face in the first 10 minutes of the game, and it was very clear that they had no answers. I didn't see the effort that I had seen before, and I think that game and the Mississippi State game were really, really alarming in terms of where the effort level was. Again, when they go on the road and they play these good teams, they put up fights, but ultimately in these home games, when they are just not responsive, it's really alarming. So, yeah, I don't know how realistic it is to expect them to continue to play hard with considering everything that's going on, but that last night was the worst it's been.
How many more games do you think they win?
One.
Okay.
I don't have the schedule in front of me. Hold on, okay, I have the schedule in front of me. I feel like they're just
the next three don't look good.
No. But like I said, they play well on the road, I feel like, a lot of times. So maybe the Ole Miss one on the road. Ole Miss has struggled. That may be the one that I pick. I know they have Oklahoma at home, but I don't know at this point. I think they'll get one. Just now, unless if Max McKinnon is out for a sustained amount of time, then no, there's no hope.
Yeah, without him offensively, they can't keep up, and we already know what the defense is. So that's that on men's basketball at this point. Pretty big one coming up on Saturday in the Assembly Center, LSU in South Carolina. How big is it, considering these two teams figure to be around pretty late in the NCAA tournament? But what does a regular season between the two mean?
It doesn't mean a lot in terms of an SEC title. Now, LSU can play spoiler. I think LSU is on the outside looking in terms of the SEC title race. They can play spoiler to South Carolina in that regard and kind of knock them down a peg. But I just think in general, this is kind of what sports is about here. This game, like this, no matter what sport you're talking about, you have two iconic coaches. You have two programs that clearly have a disdain for each other. They have history with each other. I mean, we remember the fight from a couple years ago in the SEC tournament. Every game, every press conference, this is like a real rivalry. And this is something that every game, whether it's at LSU or it's in Columbia, like these teams get up for. And at the same time, LSU hasn't beaten them. So this is where if LSU doesn't win this game, I'm looking at, Mulkey and this program and like, are you ever going to get over this hump? Because this feels like your best chance. And I think earlier in the week they were favored by about 2 points. Like, I think this is a real coin flip game. I think if LSU plays well, it can win. But this is going to be a really, really fun matchup.
Do you think LSU wins?
I do. I picked LSU before the conference season to win this game. I think they have a lot more depth. South Carolina has been dealing with a couple of injuries. I'm going to monitor to see if they're back on track to play in this game. But I think playing at home is obviously huge. And I think just the way LSU, I expect Jada Rashard to play better. I expect Phil Wiley to be able to be up for. That's another element of this whole thing is Phil Wiley going from South Carolina to LSU. I expect her to play well, and I just think Michaela will be the difference here. So I think LSU gets the win, but it's going to be a heck of a game.
Huge matchup in the Assembly Center. Sounds like the entire lower bowl will be covered in black T-shirts. LSU is going to wear their dark tops, and it'll be high-profile matchup between the South Carolina Gamecocks and the LSU Tigers. Matthew Bruni will be there if you want to read about it. You can over at the Bengal Tiger, part of the On3 team. He's with us on Wednesdays. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
That is Matthew Bruni with the Bengal Tiger, part of the team over at On3. Our Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com. Built by Renaissance.com. You can go to builtbyrenaissance.com and you could fill out the contact us portion of it, and that'll go directly to Joey Blanchard. But what you can also do is send him a text message. Send Joey a text, 225-252-7745. Again, 225-252-7745. Looking for the pool of your dreams? You can get it from Joey Blanchard and the team at Renaissance Homes and Pools. They can also do outdoor kitchens. And if you're looking for the home of your dreams, your forever home, well, Joey does that as well and is happy to do it. Been building in Baton Rouge for a long, long time. He can even do the whole thing, pool, outdoor kitchen, and your house, if that's what you're looking for from them. You're with the owner of the company every step of the way with Joey Blanchard and the team at Renaissance Homes and Pools. He's there for the consultation. He's there from the design, there for the dig, obviously there for the finish. He's the owner of the company. He takes pride in his work, and he's done it for dozens and dozens of folks around the Baton Rouge area as well. So check him out online at builtbyrenaissance.com or give Joey a call. For those that were asking about my bold predictions for last season's baseball season, I'll give them to you. I just pulled it back up from LouisianaSports.net. I said LSU would not be swept. They were swept by Auburn, so that was incorrect. They were only swept once, but they were swept by Auburn. I had Stephen Milam for 10 home runs. He hit 11, so that one hit. He did not hit for monster power as a freshman, only had 8, and I kind of thought more power would come. He didn't actually hit a lot in the regular season in the SEC. He did hit for some pop, and so he got over 10 with 11. The next one, I said Anthony Ianson would lead LSU in strikeouts. Now keep in mind, Ianson and Anderson weren't that yet. And I liked Ianson's breaking ball when I saw it. And I was like, that's a strikeout pitch. I think he'll lead LSU in strikeouts. And he didn't. But he did finish third in the nation in strikeouts. So I missed, but it was a decent take, at least. It was rooted in some positivity. And the last one, I had Gavin Guidry and Connor Ware both finishing the season with at least 5 saves. Connor Ware had no saves and did not pitch in the postseason. And Gavin Guidry got hurt and never pitched. So that was a complete whiff. They did use multiple stoppers. They used Kason Evans and Zach Cowan all year, and then they went to Chase Shores late. So there was the thought that, hey, a lefty and a righty here to finish games that can stretch out a little bit and do the last 2 innings. Like, that's the model they went to. I just completely picked the wrong guys. So it sounds like Ware was hurt most of the year. When he did some postseason media, he kind of alluded to that. And then Guidry was literally hurt all year and didn't pitch. So you were coming off a year where Griffin Herron was asked to do everything. And I didn't think that they would ask one person to do everything. I thought they'd ask 2. So it was kind of the same line of thinking that I had for this year with that one. But so I went definitely got Milam correct. Half a point for Ianson. No points for not getting swept because they got swept. And then the 2 save thing I just whipped. So Like 1.5 out of 4. Not great, but some reasonable takes. And then you realize the thing about this that's so fun is that oftentimes, and you don't want it to be injury related, but oftentimes you'll come up with something in your predictions that is just so wildly incorrect. It often is a good thing to revisit that and see how different things can turn out in a baseball season as opposed to the way you think in early February. And that's kind of an indication of that right there. So if you missed my 5 bold predictions for this baseball season, I went through them at the top of the show. You can go back and listen to that on demand wherever you find your sound. When we come back, it's What If Wednesday. That's next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Heart Month over at Ochsner. February's Heart Month. Time to focus on your overall health and wellness. You know, heart disease is the number one cause of death for men and women, but it is so often preventable. If you stay active with your regular exercise and eat a balanced diet that's got fruits, vegetables, whole grains, try best you can to manage that stress. Try to get enough sleep. Trust me, I know how that can be difficult at times, but try to do it. Avoid smoking, limit alcohol. Your primary care provider is your partner in this prevention. They help monitor blood pressure, cholesterol, and overall heart health. So make your health a priority this month and schedule that primary care appointment at ochsner.org/brprimary. You can take some small steps today that lead to a stronger heart tomorrow. Check in with your doctors and make sure you're on track for a healthy 2026. You can find them online at ochsner.org.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Hood Dental Care, giving back and spreading smiles is what we love most. This Valentine's Day, we're inviting you to help us change someone's life with our Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Do you know someone who deserves a smile makeover? Nominate them today. Just visit the Hood Dental Care Facebook page and fill out the entry form. Submissions are open now through February 13th. One special winner will be chosen and announced on Valentine's Day. It's the Hood Dental Care Valentine's Day Smile Giveaway. Good luck!
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Parrish, we bring the same commitment to your home that champions bring to the game.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Chugging along here on a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Renaissance Homes and Pools. Let me remind you about my friends over at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Some call it over-planning. At Boudreaux's Electrical Services, they call it foresight. Be prepared for that next power outages with a Generac home standby generator. Power outages stink. I hate them. My wife hates them a lot. So you got to get a Generac home standby generator from the folks at Boudreaux's Electrical. So, you know, we've got those summer storms that roll through. They can knock your power out. It happened to me when Paul Skeens was towing the rubber in the 2023 College World Series opener. One of those brutal storms rolled through. Bam, power's out. Ended up at my wife's friend's parents' house watching that game. That's not where you want to be. You want to be at your house. So have the generator on and running. Of course, we have those winter storm events and, of course, hurricanes as well. Do what you can to protect yourself and make sure that you've got a home standby generator, whether it's your home or at your business. Boudreaux's Electrical is local. Of the 5 largest Generac generator dealers in the state, 4 of them have now been bought. Boudreaux's is the last local man standing. Do business with someone who's been doing it for 40 years in the state of Louisiana. That is Neil and Melissa Boudreaux's. Go to boudreauxelectrical.com to get started. That's boudreauxelectrical.com. All right, we got plenty to do here over the next 90 minutes. In the second hour of today's show, I want to get into some of Spencer Rattler's trade value talk. Koki Riley is going to be with us coming up in 25 minutes to talk LSU baseball. I want you to hear from Will Campbell a little bit later. But right now, it's What If Wednesday.
Space, reality. It's more than a linear path. Where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
All right, this one's from Twitter. So what if we did an all McMahon team? Would they make the NCAA tournament?
Well, it's only 4 years to choose from. I think I can make that lineup if asked to do it. Point guard's obviously Deion Thomas. That's very clear. I think the 2 guard is Cam Carter from last year. He had a great year. I mean, he had to do everything offensively. He shot it over 40% from 3, got to the rim. He's undersized, but he was a really good scorer. So I feel like my backcourt at that point is pretty good. I think the 3 has got to be Jordan Wright. He started a couple years at Vanderbilt, was the heart and soul of the team that went 500 in league play here under McMahon year 2. So he's got to be my 3. That at least gives me some length on the perimeter. Jordan was about 6'5", 6'6", so I'll take Jordan Wright at the 3. In the front court, like, Jalen Reed is a talented dude. He played his whole career at LSU as a freshman and young sophomore. Like, he's been hurt. So I don't know what Jalen Reed is. I'm going to go with KJ Williams from Man's first team. Another guy that had to do everything. He shot the 3 pretty well, did a pretty good job of scoring. Not a dynamic athlete, but he's 6'9" and can shoot. So he's decent. And I think the best, like, true big they've had is Nwoku.
Yeah, you need a presence down low.
So I think my 5 is Deion Thomas, Cam Carter, Jordan Wright, KJ Williams, and Michael Nwoku. McKinnon would be like a nice piece off the bench maybe. There's not a lot else that I'm like dying to pull from here. Like Corey Chess got some rebounds. That's not great. So Deion Thomas, Cam Carter, Jordan Wright, KJ Williams, Michael Nwoku. I think that team would make the tournament.
I mean, they better.
I mean, that speaks to where
best players.
That speaks to where we are. A 4-year run, and we're taking everybody we can from 4 years.
Can they?
I think they would make the tournament. You don't have a huge weakness. Cam Carter was a pretty good defender. But other than that, you're not great on defense. I would score a lot of points. I would score a lot of points. But they would make the tournament. But it's not exactly the all Wade team.
Yeah, I'm about to say
it's not Cam Thomas, Trenton Watford, Tremont Waters, Skylar Mays, Emmett Williams, Darius Days, Cavell Bigby Williams. It's not that.
Javonte Smart.
Javonte would be on there. Yeah, I mean they had a lot of good dudes. They had a lot of good players. So you're just kind of reaching for somebody at all these positions at this point.
Yeah, man, Javonte, he scared my high school. He gave us 50 points in the playoffs.
I bet he did.
Yes.
It never looked dynamic.
No.
But
they were
he'd
scared of
shoot
him.
that set shot, and he'd finish below the rim.
But Scotlandville was live back then.
Oh yeah, they could play.
They was live back then. So what if Bruce Pearl comes out of retirement to save our basketball program?
I don't think so. I think Bruce is one of those coaches that looked at this thing and went, "I've had enough.
Yeah,
I'm not chasing the NIL thing. I'm not doing the portal thing. I'm not doing the fundraising. I'm just had enough." And I get it. He's made a ton of money.
Bringing the pros back.
I told Marler, Chris Marler's fiance, lovely, loves the Auburn Tigers. And I told her when Bruce Pearl retired, I said, that program's dead. Sorry. And it is. I mean, they're not the worst team in the league by any stretch of the imagination, but it'll be a slow descent from where it was because they now have not Bruce Pearl in charge. And that's, even though it's his son, it ain't gonna work.
Nah, it's not. But hey, they still lead the league in the best chance. I know that G League dropout, man. That was electric. So what if they played the Super Bowl, the college football playoffs, and the Final Four in one location every year? I have mine, but it's a little biased.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans is the obvious pick there. I if I split them, which I think is reasonable, like I think I would play the college football national championship in the Rose Bowl and be fine with it.
Ooh.
I've never been to the Rose Bowl, but I'm told logistics are terrible, and that's not great. But you can find a place to stay in LA, and it's a gorgeous setting, and I think that works. I think for the Super Bowl,
if it's not New Orleans, Miami maybe.
Probably. I mean, I don't want to go up north.
Oh no, sir.
Like they've done it. They've done New York. They've done Indianapolis. They've done Minnesota.
Yuck.
They've done all that, and like it's just not. Doesn't sound great. I mean, New Orleans is as good as it gets, and everyone said that when we were there last year in terms of logistics. And a lot of folks went out to San Francisco, and like San Francisco is an amazing city, but the game's way the heck out in the middle of nowhere in Santa Clara. It's just kind of tough. New Orleans is the best. Final Four, I'm told Indianapolis works well.
Yeah,
Lucas
basketball.
Oil is downstairs, is downtown. Like I wouldn't even have a problem if they put the Final Four in Nashville. It's a smaller stadium, but Nashville's got kind of got a great downtown area that surrounds Bridgestone. It's just not as big an arena. Yeah, food for thought. But I think the most important thing for us is the CFP, and I love it in New Orleans.
Yeah, it just for LSU wise, most definitely, and
it's just been so nice for me. I've been there in different capacities. I was a sophomore in high school for the Oklahoma game. I was a sophomore in college for the Ohio State game. I was on the beat for Alabama, and then I was on the radio broadcast for Clemson. But it was so nice, and this applies to a very small subset of the fan base. I get it, because most people watch on TV and aren't there. But to be able to walk out of the dome to the hotel or to a bar like that, as opposed to like, okay, we're at the Rose Bowl. Where do we go now? We have to sit in traffic on the interstate. Like we're in Santa Clara. What do we do? Like even if you're out in Arlington, I went and watched LSU play Oregon and A&M in Arlington. You walk out of the stadium, it's like, well, where do we go now? Like Dallas is 40 miles this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's way out in the middle. They've done a decent job of building some stuff around it because the Rangers are out there.
Yeah,
but like it's not a bustling part of the city.
Yeah, like New Orleans, you can just
you just walk right out of the CBD or into the quarter, and you're like there. So that's cool. So I don't know.
And I know when you was there, you just felt how live the city was. You could literally feel the heartbeat of the city during the Super Bowl.
It's awesome.
So what if you go play with one partner in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am?
So that's this week. They're at Pebble, and they play with you got the amateurs, which a lot of times are celebrities, and a lot of them are like CEOs of huge sponsors. We get to play with one pro. I think I would pick Rory McIlroy.
Okay.
Like Scotty Scheffler's the best player. Scotty's the best player, but Rory is one, awesome, and two, I think would talk. Like I think I could get him to talk about LIV. I think I could get him to talk about winning the Masters. I think Rory's got more stories to chat about as opposed to watching Scotty Scheffler just laser bombs in the fairway and at the pins all the time.
Okay.
That's probably my pick. Like Jordan Spieth is in the mix as well. And then you got like guys like Max Homa that are just funny. But I think Rory's my pick. If you got me to play with one guy, I think Rory's the guy.
Okay, as the most casual golf person ever, outside looking in about Rory, all I see is him raging about the phones and all that. So that's why I was like, Rory, this guy. I'm like, I was seeing the video of him raging about don't record me and all this.
Yeah, they're under a microscope out there. I'm a little harder on some of the other guys than Rory, but that's my pick. I think it's McIlroy.
Yeah.
But I cannot wait. Yeah, that's it for Take It or Leave It. I cannot wait
to. This is What If Wednesday.
That's it.
Come on,
I thought we were done. I thought we would just get on out of here.
On.
So I've gotten the sponsor of the studio wrong and the Wednesday middle of the show segment wrong. So we're off to a blazing start here for the first 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get to the finish line. Koki Riley in 15 minutes.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Swing Easy, GCBR.com. Looking for a round of golf? I just mentioned Pebble Beach. You can play it. The Tour Pros are playing Pebble this week. You want to play it? Go to Swing Easy Golf Club. It's really fun. I played some of the holes out there. Unfortunately, I hit 600 shots on the 7th hole. You don't have to do that. You can just play it once, and you can play the famous 8th, 4 through 11 at Pebble. It's as good as it gets. And so if you want to put the Tour Pros on TV off to your right, grab a beer out of the bucket of beers, and then play Pebble Beach with your buddies on the simulator, you can do that at Swing Easy Golf Club. It's an awesome place to hang out. You can become a member at Swing Easy Golf Club. Get some great discounted rates. Get some hours that it's all yours. Entertain clients, entertain guests. It's an awesome spot to mix golf into your social life or to work on your game at Swing Easy Golf Club. They're on Segan at Perkins. Swing Easy, GCBR.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com, built by Renaissance.com. Obviously, I'm in the media. I write quotes. I play quotes. Talk about them. And I think in some instances, they're very important. I think sometimes we need to hear from coaches. I think sometimes we need to hear from players. I think sometimes we should hear from officials, which we don't. And you also know that there are times where I don't find answers to be compelling or necessary. I'm not one of these folks with a journalism degree who uses it and works in the media that just demands accountability at all times from everyone involved. And I'm telling the story, you give me the story, and I'll put the story. Like, I'm just not wired quite like that. I'd rather let the scoreboard talk. I'm interested in the games. But we talked about Will Campbell earlier this week, and he had a tough go in the Super Bowl, no question about it. And he didn't speak to the media after that. And I told you on Monday that I wish he had spoken to the media. It's okay that he didn't. Let's not make a habit of it. I'm not going to go nuts here, but I wish he would have. And he finally got the opportunity to meet with the media and to give his thoughts on the Super Bowl and not talking to the media and kind of what he may have said back on Sunday after a tough loss where he didn't play very well. And the first bite we'll play is kind of an apology for not speaking.
I apologize about the other night not being available to talk. Just had a lot of emotions. Obviously going after tough loss, long year. I just wanted to make sure that I had my head on properly before I said anything. I didn't want to say anything that I didn't need to say. And I know that can happen, especially with myself, whenever there's emotions involved. So just wanted the night to sleep on things.
You know, there are three ways to handle it. The worst way to handle it would be to talk and to make a fool out of yourself. That's the worst thing you could do. The second worst thing is to not talk at all. And the best thing to do would be to talk and to do so reasonably. And if Will, in that moment, at the biggest game of his life, biggest moment of his professional life, and it may be the last time he ever plays in a Super Bowl, didn't feel like in that moment he was mentally equipped to say the things he needed to say, I'm okay with the rookie in the league bowing that one out. A 14th year quarterback, I probably need you to talk after the Super Bowl. I probably need that. A rookie left tackle, I'll forgive him for that one because he's come back, apologized, and said, look, I didn't know if I could do it properly. And you know what? Again, that's not the best way to have handled it, but I think it's completely reasonable for Will to have done that. Now, he spoke to some of the struggles that he had in the postseason.
I was picked high, paid a lot, so people expect a certain thing, and I expect more of myself. So whenever I don't perform, I don't expect, everyone to be like, it's okay, buddy. I mean, obviously it sucks, but it doesn't suck for anyone more than it sucks for me.
That's a great answer. I mean, and that's the Will Campbell I have heard from in LSU media availabilities. I'm not even going to pretend to know Will Campbell. He might be able to point to me and say, yeah, he was in the media. He certainly wouldn't know who I was. We have no relationship. But I have spoken to Will Campbell 5 or 6 times. And these are generally the types of answers that you get from him that are thoughtful, that are seemingly sincere. And I believe him that he's got incredibly high standards for him, and he doesn't expect anybody to just pat him on the back and say, okay, buddy, you made a bunch of money. You were the 3rd, 4th pick in the draft. Get him next time. Like, that's not how it's going to work. And it's not going to work like that in the NFL. He's got to play better than that. And then the speculation was pretty rampant about the injury to his knee. It cost him some time during the season. He came back and didn't play as well as he had before he went out with a knee injury, and he talked about that part of it.
It obviously wasn't 100%. I mean, I don't think, when you tear a ligament in your knee, it's not going to be how it was before. But I was healthy enough to go, and, I'm not going to say that it held me back, but, yeah, it wasn't the same as it was before, obviously.
Yeah. And I think that's a reasonable thing, too. It's a bad look in the court of public opinion when you don't play very well and you come out and go, well, I'm hurt. Like, nobody really wants you to say that. Like, I would be okay if you say that because people are hurt. You know what happens when you're hurt? Can't quite play as well. It just is what it is. But it sounds like you're making an excuse, and Joe Public doesn't want to hear that from rich athlete. And I get it. Like, I don't care, but most people don't. And Will wasn't going to do that. Same thing, Garrett Nussmeier never did it. And then he came out at the Senior Bowl and was talking to Flynn and Hester and goes, I mean, I couldn't use my torso. Couldn't use my core. And look, it's okay. And Nussmeier was hurt, couldn't play very well. And Will Campbell was probably hurt. Now, how much of his struggles were because his knee was hurt, and how much is because he's a rookie, and how much is because his arms are short, and how much is because his shoulders aren't as broad as some other tackles, and how much is because he should be a guard, and like how much, who knows? We'll find out. I think they're going to run him back out there at left tackle next year, and if it looks like this postseason, they'll move him. Trevor Penning got moved. It's not that dissimilar. So I'm completely okay with the way that Will Campbell has handled this. Again, it was not my preferred way, but it's perfectly fine. The only thing you can't do is not talk and then bash the media for even trying to get a quote, or open your mouth and saying something ridiculous right after the fact. Like, that's the only stuff you can't do. And for a young player in that emotional state, it's easy to do. So I commend Will Campbell for having the awareness to go, probably not the best thing for me to start talking right now in front of a microphone. And then to come back a couple of days later, give the media his quotes, and I think they were completely reasonable. He knows he's got to get healthy, and he's got to play better. And I think he will. I think he will get healthy. I think he will play better. So I think he's a great representative of LSU. I think Patriots fans will appreciate the way he handled himself here. They won't appreciate the way he played, the way he handled himself here. Now, you got to take the offseason and go get better. So that's the hope for Will Campbell. We'll come back and talk some baseball with Koki Riley after Sports Center.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. You know, the management averages 25 years with First American Bank and Trust. Well, how does that happen? That happens when you've got a community feel in your bank. People feel like they're a part of something. First American Bank and Trust is part of Southeast Louisiana. It just is. The people that work there, that make the decisions on your commercial loans, that make the decision on your personal loan, are part of your community. You're not just a line item. You're not just somebody that may or may not get an answer when they make a call. You're part of the community that First American Bank and Trust has called home for well over 100 years. So when you're looking for that commercial loan, you're looking for that personal loan, you're in St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, Dutchtown, Hammond, Terrebonne, First American Bank and Trust needs to be who you trust. That's our friends at First American Bank and Trust.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish contractors, let's get building.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana propane dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 4 players suspended by the NBA connected to Monday night's brawl. Detroit's Isaiah Stewart, a 7-game suspension for leaving the bench area and participating in the fight. Charlotte's Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate, 4 games each for fighting and escalating the altercation. Pistons center Jalen Duren, a 2-game suspension. The league attributed Stewart's lengthy suspension in part to his repeated history of unsportsmanlike acts. First Take host, Stephen A. Smith.
7 to 10 games suspension is fine with me for Stewart. I think that he's showing the world that he can be irked and he can be somebody that they can tempt into making mistakes and getting himself ejected from a playoff series. They need to really, really watch him. All the other guys got what they deserved. I thought it was fair.
3 major leaguers will undergo surgery on hamate bone injuries. Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor, Arizona outfielder Corbin Carroll, and Orioles second baseman Jackson Holliday. Regarding opening day, Mets optimistic about Lindor. Carroll's questionable, and Holliday is out. U.S. speed skater Jordan Stolz won gold in the men's 1,000 meters at the Winter Olympics.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Thursday, the NFL season just finished, but it's never too early to tell you which teams are contending and which teams are rebuilding in 2026. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show. This is a catastrophe. You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Hour 2. Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. Half that work week in the rear view mirror. Working towards the weekend, and on this weekend, LSU will play a lot of baseball. They will play against Milwaukee coming up Friday at 2 o'clock. They'll play Milwaukee on Saturday and Sunday, and then they'll play Monday as well, and then Wednesday before they hit the road to Jacksonville. So 5 games in 6 days to open the season. A lot of baseball content coming your way from us right here at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, certainly over at LouisianaSports.net. Reminder to check out Musso at the Box on YouTube or wherever you find your podcasts as well. I know this town is very, very, very excited for some LSU baseball. It's the way these things go when basketball goes south as quickly as it does. It's a welcome respite from that. And I know that when you're defending a national championship, everybody is all fired up. So we are, I guess, 48 hours from right now. First pitch over at Alec Box Stadium. Still don't know who's going to throw that first pitch for LSU this year. We'll hear from Jay Johnson at 11 o'clock tomorrow. And my guess is that he will name a starter for Friday. Maybe for Saturday. I'd be stunned if he announced a Sunday starter. I wouldn't even be surprised if he did announce a Saturday starter. I'm looking at Twitter for the last couple of days, and I'm seeing all these schools announcing Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters. Friday, Saturday, Sunday starters. Like Arkansas is going to Texas to play in one of those tournaments, and they announced all 3 of their starters. Ole Miss has announced all 3 of their starters for the weekend. A lot of folks do that. You're not going to get that from Jay Johnson. He's just not going to operate that way. And at this point, who's to argue? Like, do we have a lot of folks genuinely arguing? Do we have people still outwardly complaining about Friday, Monday, and Tuesday games in the middle of the day? Do we have people ardently complaining about the non-conference schedule? Not really. You win 2 championships in 3 years around here. You can kind of run the program the way you want to run the program. And look, I run a radio show 1 to 3 every day. And for me to do a radio show 1 to 3 and for them to throw first pitch of the season at 2 is not a lot of fun. Not my favorite. But it is what it is. And Jay Johnson kind of figures he's going to do things the way he wants to do it, and that's the way he wants to do it. So we'll see, and we'll see what Jay Johnson does coming up tomorrow at 11 o'clock if he announces a starting pitcher, one for Friday and then for Saturday as well. You called Koki, didn't get an answer? All right, he's responding to me, so I'll have him call us here. Let me type this in. And we'll have Koki call us because I do want to talk some Spencer Rattler trade deadline, but I don't want to do that in the middle of this segment and then have Koki come on. And I want to talk maybe a little bit in 25 minutes, maybe a little bit in 25 minutes about what we saw in the PMAC last night. Maybe not a lot. May not be the case. But I just, we'll see. Depends on if anything breaks at this point. But Koki, I think, is calling the studio right now, so we'll get him. Koki's been on the baseball beat for a couple of years. If you're looking for preview content, got it at 104.5 ESPN's YouTube stream. Me and Musso chopping up the entire season. Koki, I think, now with us on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How's it going?
Doing quite well. We're just talking about Jay's reluctance to reveal information about his lineup and pitching. What do you think you'll learn tomorrow when he meets with the media? Do you think you'll get an opening day starting pitcher?
Yeah, I think we'll probably get a rotation. Usually we get a rotation before the first weekend of the season. So that's just kind of my baseline expectation heading into the year. I don't think we're going to get a lineup, and honestly, the opening day lineup really doesn't tell you a whole lot about what the rest of the season's going to look like from an order perspective. Pitching staff is a little bit more so because you got to ramp guys up and ramp guys down, and there's probably going to be some sort of change in the rotation by the end of the year. Well, actually, there's almost certainly going to be some sort of change with the rotation by the end of the year, but usually at least one of those guys will stay throughout the whole year. Last year it was two. So I think that at least if we get an idea as to who those three guys are going to be, that gives us a decent starting point from the pitching side.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, a couple years ago, Thatcher Hurd threw the first pitch and Gage jumped out of the bullpen at the end, and those things were very much flipped by the end of the season. Who do you think will get the baseball to start on Friday afternoon?
It'll probably still be Casey Evans. I know he hasn't looked the best during this preseason, but he's got the track record, he's got the stuff, he's Casey Evans. I don't know, he just is the best candidate for this from a talent perspective, from even a track record perspective to some degree. And I guess I understand that there's at least some concern over whether he can make the jump to being a starter, but had a lot of multi-inning relief appearances and has kind of shown that he can get through an order multiple times already and at an SEC College World Series sort of level. So I'm not too concerned that he can make the leap, even if historically it has been difficult at times to do that, as you've pointed out many times.
Do you have a thought on who Saturday and Sunday might be?
I think it's going to be Cooper Williams and Cooper Moore in some sort of order. I think Cooper Moore's probably been their best pitcher, topped up from since the fall. That's a lot to ask for a transfer who was very solid at Kansas, but wasn't Paul Skeens good at Kansas either. So to ask him to start opening day seems like a lot. But as a Saturday or Sunday guy, he's kind of perfect to slide in there, and I think that's exactly why they brought him in. His command's excellent. He's got a great changeup. He's got a pretty good sweeper to have more of that horizontal movement on his pitches. So the fastball isn't big, but if he can hit his spots and sort of keep teams off balance, then he's going to be pretty solid for them. And then I think Cooper Williams just really improved since since most of what we saw him last year. I think at the very end of last season we saw some of this in terms of his command and his ability to throw 4 pitches for strikes and keep hitters off balance. But I think it's kind of gone to another level in that he's doing it against LSU hitters and he's getting tons of strikeouts and he just looks so comfortable and poised out there. And there were times where there were definitely some deer in the headlights looks from him coming out of the bullpen, and the ERA suggested that he had an amazing season. And he definitely had a good year for a freshman, but I wouldn't say he was really anywhere close to dominant or great until the very end. So I think what we saw in that Little Rock performance in the regional, we're just seeing that more and more now as we head into the season. And he's also a lefty, and he's really the only lefty candidate to start. And we know Jay likes starting lefties, so that's kind of why I have those two guys, the Coopers, I should say, in the rotation to start the year.
That means no William Schmidt. Now, look, there's a game Monday, and I would argue that Monday's game is the same as Friday's game, is the same as Sunday's game, is the same as Saturday's game. Do you feel like William Schmidt may wait till Monday to start, or do you think we may see him, if your rotation plays out of the bullpen somewhere?
I mean, I wouldn't be. He's a pretty good candidate to start on Monday, especially if Zach Cowan's like, you're going to be in your quasi top reliever, top high leverage role, the same role that he was in last season. If you're going to do it that way, then Schmidt or Jaden Newt makes the most sense for Monday. Schmidt had that great performance in the last week of the preseason scrimmages. Kind of had a rocky start in the first inning, and then after that he really cruised. And to me, for Schmidt, it's really all about the command. If he can command the baseball and really work on getting teams off of his fastball, then he'll be fine. But that's still a lot to ask, given all the expectations that are already underneath him, and the fact that he's really a breaking ball first pitcher, and if he can like really lean to those strengths more and command the ball better, then I think that those are just sort of the keys for him heading into this season. And Newt's just kind of a rock for them. He's looked a little bit more consistent this year. It's, again, with him, it's kind of similar to the command, and he was a little bit better. He was just better at that last season, and had that split change he could really lean on in tight moments. And I think you're probably going to see if he's now that he's an extra year removed from the Tommy John surgery, I feel a little bit more optimistic about him just in terms of like reaching that we're kind of reaching what he can be for this team, which is like a very, very under the radar starter type for them.
Let's move to the offense-defense side of things. What's your biggest concern about this team from a position player standpoint?
For me, it's some of the defense up the middle, and it's the power, right? I mean, the power has to be talked about as like this kind of thing that's kind of looming over this team a little bit. They have a lot of doubles hitters, as we've said, seemingly a lot now. But they kind of need Trent Caraway to hit, 15, 20 homers. They kind of need Jake Brown to hit 15, 20 homers. They need Derek Curiel to take another step forward in the power department. Braden Simpson hit 22 last season, but that's going to be very difficult at a much higher level. You're looking at a guy like Zach York, who's going to be playing in smaller parks, but he's going to be facing tougher pitching. So how much power are you going to get out of him? I think the power is definitely something to keep an eye out for heading into this upcoming year. I mean, they've got a lot to replace, especially with the right-handed power between Ethan Fry and Jared Jones, and that's why I'm looking at a guy like Caraway, and I just think he's so important as one of the few guys in this team who can give you some legitimate pop from the right-handed side, and Simpson as well. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And then the other thing is just some of the defense up the middle. Like, what's Aaron Beatty going to look like in SEC competition defensively when he's catching, at least 2 out of every 3 games, or in some cases all 3. So like that's just going to be a big leap for him, and he's looked better in the preseason, and that's been a promising sign. Not saying that he can't do it, but it's still a question mark for me. And that the defense and second base, like they don't really have a glove first second baseman on this team. So like who's going to emerge there, and how can they sort of piece that together? Some of the defense up the middle in particular, or even third base, you could argue as well. But that power is probably the most glaring thing.
You spent a lot of time around Jay Johnson. You've interviewed him a couple times preseason here. Do you think he's approaching 2026 any differently than 2024?
Well, I'm just sort of writing about that for a story in The Advocate. It's going to come out on Friday, so I don't want to spoil spoil the story too much in this answer.
Make it a yes or no then.
But to a degree, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he definitely did more research into dynasty teams and what it takes and the characteristics between the teams that did win multiple championships after the first one and the teams that didn't. And that's just kind of the territory this team finds themselves in heading into this year, where they're on track to potentially win 3 and 4 years. And even if they don't do that, they don't do it this year. If they do it next year, then you could probably call it a dynasty too, 3 and 5 years. So I think, like Jay Johnson loves to do his research and learn from championship winning coaches. He idolizes Nick Saban. He sort of understands, the difference between winning it once and winning it multiple times. And that's that's exactly the new step that they're taking this season, because they've already won 2 and 3 years. But winning, it's different. It's different. There's a big difference between winning 1 or even 2 championships and winning 3 or 4 or 5. And that's kind of the mountain that they have to climb now. And very, very, very few teams, as you know, have been able to do that. So it's going to be very, very difficult, but I'm kind of writing about that right now as we speak.
I love to hear it. It's a great topic of conversation. How about this dynasty? I like these types of stories and conversations. Far better than the ones we've talked about on the hardwood for the last couple of weeks. So looking forward to it. Koki, what are you planning to do during Saturday's rain delay? Are you excited about that?
Well, I haven't looked at the radar, so you're actually kind of breaking news to me right now, as I've been kind of in the bunker and the headspace of writing a lot and not looking at weather reports. But now you've really just soured my mood for Friday. So
look, I'm just preparing you for 56 games. That's at least 20 rain delays right there. So Saturday looks a little bit dicey, I'll tell you that. But they got time. They'll figure it out, and we'll get off and running on Friday afternoon. Koki, we'll see you at the box this weekend. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Look forward to reading his stuff. Koki Riley will be here on Wednesdays. He'll have a great story up on opening day on Friday, and he'll certainly have your coverage all season long on the baseball beat over at LSU. Our Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. We'll come back with more. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Fabry Chevrolet GMC. It's online at fabrychevrolet.com. I've been telling you all month because it's important that I tell you this month, because I can't tell you next month. I can only tell you this month because it's a great month. Go get a truck. If you're looking for a new truck, maybe your lease is up. Maybe this one's just not riding like you want to, or maybe this is just a new opportunity to get behind the wheel of a truck you never had before. Fabry Chevrolet GMC has got you covered. On the Chevy side, the Silverado, up to $11,000 now MSRP and 1.9 APR financing, both available. You're looking at GMC Sierras, gorgeous truck, up to $13,000 off MSRP, 0.0% APR financing. These are incredible deals. If you're looking for a new truck, Fabry Chevrolet GMC, Highway 61 in St. Francisville is where you need to be. You know the Fabry family. They've been in business 35 years. They're incredible customer service, great buying experience, and service after the sale is fantastic. So go see them, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Check out the inventory online at fabrychevrolet.com. It's fabrychevrolet.com.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling better. We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's doubloon for just $1 that scores you extra cane sauce through April 3rd with any purchase. Let the good times roll this Mardi Gras with Raising Cane's. One love.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Lifetime Roofing, lifetimeroofingla.com, lifetimeroofingla.com. It's a Baton Rouge-based roofing company that can service you anywhere in the state of Louisiana, also over into Houston. Trust a local company with your roofing. Just a word of advice. They're here in the community. They know what's important, and they're going to do a quality job. I can tell you that Lifetime Roofing is going to do a quality job because they stand by it with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That warranty includes workmanship and materials that are backed by CertainTeed, one of the most trusted and oldest names in building materials. They're here before the storms. They're here after the storms. This is home for Lifetime Roofing. So trust them to do your inspection. If they find that you just need a repair, not a whole new roof, they're going to do the repair, not the whole new roof. If they find that you need a new roof, they're going to do an awesome job and allow financing up to 18 months, 0% on that new roof. If you just need it fortified, strengthened a little bit to protect your home, protect your family, that's what they'll do. They're not here to upsell you and do something you don't need to make a quick buck. It's Lifetime Roofing. Find them online, lifetimeroofingla.com, lifetimeroofingla.com. Let's shift over to the Saints here. And let's talk about Spencer Rattler. I gave a lot of thought to this, not in terms of like necessarily all preparation, and I am prepared. I'm looking at kind of the situation, but I gave a lot of thought to it based on risk-reward, maybe is the way to say it. Should the Saints look into moving Spencer Rattler is the question. Got a couple years left on a cheap deal. There are going to be teams that are looking for quarterbacks. Is he someone worth shopping to other teams? And is there a market for him? I can't speak to the market for Spencer Rattler. I can't. I do know that he played okay this year. Was it safe? Yes. Was it guarded? Yes. Was it in fairly adverse circumstances with a first-year head coach, limited weapons? I mean, at that point, you had Olave and Shaheed, but it wasn't as if the Saints were in a great spot offensively with really young tackles, a struggling right guard, struggling left guard. But Rattler was okay. Is there a market, and should the Saints explore that and look to move on? And this is what I've arrived at for New Orleans in this spot. I think all things considered, you have to listen to offers for Spencer Rattler. Here's why I say that. Here are the free agent quarterbacks that are expected to be here on the market this offseason. Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, Zach Wilson, all these guys to varying degrees are veterans that have either way outlived their prime or have kind of been retreads. And then you've got other names of a younger variety like Marcus Mariota, Gardner Minshew, Mitch Trubisky, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, that type of deal. But it's not a deep market, and it's not one that's got a lot of potential options. But I think that's a good thing for the Saints. Because if you think that Rattler, at his age, with his skill set, on his salary, is a better option for your franchise, whoever you are, whether you're the Vikings or the Cardinals or Miami, Indianapolis, Las Vegas. I realize they have the first pick, but what if you're trying to bring a bridge quarterback in, whatever. Like if you think that Rattler's a better option, you may be willing to part with a draft pick. And if I'm the Saints, I think that a draft pick and Gardner Minshew, or a draft pick and Mitch Trubisky, or a draft pick and Zach Wilson, or whoever, is better than just Spencer Rattler. Probably more expensive on the salary side, but also comes with an asset. And I'm generally of the belief that if you have to rely on your backup quarterback for a substantial amount of time, that you're probably cooked anyway. There aren't a lot of Nick Foles stories. There are no other Tom Brady stories. There aren't a lot of Cardale Jones stories at the college level. Your backup quarterback comes in for a substantial amount of time, you're probably cooked anyway. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time prioritizing who my backup quarterback is. Yes, if my quarterback goes down, I would like my backup to be able to hold the rope. But I'm not even so sure that Mitch Trubisky can't hold the rope like Spencer Rattler can. Saints lost a lot of games with Spencer Rattler last year. And if it comes with an asset on the other side of it, no matter if it's a 6th-round pick, I'm open to that. I believe the door is closed on Spencer Rattler as the Saints franchise quarterback. That may sound obvious, but it needs to be said. He's on the roster. He's cheap. You've brought him in. I think that ship has sailed. The future of the Saints, if it reaches I struggle to say elite, the good teams in the NFL, it's going to be with Shuck. And if Shuck gets hurt, then you're probably going to take a big step back, and I'm okay with that risk of taking a big step back if he gets hurt to get the reward of potentially a draft pick with a veteran backup quarterback if someone wants to pay up for Spencer Rattler. And if the market is deemed to be so weak that you get 2 teams interested and you might bump that pick up around and maybe you get a 5th-round pick, I think it's worth it. Is this a conversation that is franchise-altering? It is not. It's not. Is it one that has a chance to produce a net positive and make the Saints organization better? I believe it does. I don't believe the Saints get a lot better with Spencer Rattler being the backup quarterback. They could get better if somehow you find a 5th, 6th, 7th-round pick that can really help. So when you've got an asset, which is a quarterback, and the league so strongly covets that asset that at times they're willing to overpay, I'm willing to listen to potential overpayers. I'm willing to listen. I like Spencer Rattler. I think he's done some nice things. I think if the Saints have him as a backup, and let's talk about the other side of this equation, hypothetically. Shuck gets the Saints off to a 5-2 start. He has a 3-week injury. Won't even be specific, but he's going to miss 3 weeks. And Spencer Rattler might be able to go 2-1, might be able to go 1-2, which is good enough to hold the rope. That upside is not worth me not exploring a potential draft pick, to me. I think it's possible, and I think that Spencer Rattler could help a team. I don't think he can help the franchise long term. So if you're talking about the hypothetical of maybe he's got to play 3 weeks, maybe he's got to play 1 week, maybe he's got to play 2 quarters, maybe he's got to play a month, these all hypotheticals, I don't really want to play in that. I'd rather play in in actuality, I can sign one of these veterans. He can sit behind Shuck. If he needs to play, he's been out there before. I might pay him a little bit more, but on the back end, I also get a draft pick that I got for trading Rattler. I'm in for that. I think that's the better side of this equation to look at. So if there are teams earnestly inquiring about Spencer Rattler, pre-draft, post-draft, whenever, and you can get a late round draft choice. I'm not delusional enough to think you can get a 3rd round pick for it. But if you can get 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, I realize the hit rates on those are very low, but I'm willing to part with a backup quarterback asset for a potential to have something better. I'm not in a hurry to trade my backup, my number 2 wide receiver, my number 2 running back, my number 2 safety. I don't want to trade my 2nd edge rusher. I'm not in a hurry to part with Demario Davis as heir apparent. The quarterback, I'm willing to part with, because if Shuck goes down and you got to have your backup come in, I've already kind of decided it's probably not going to go great. And you can tell me about the Foles stories till the cows come home, and you can talk to me about Tom Brady forever, and all that's well and good. I'm not. That's the exception to the general rule. The rule is you need your starting quarterback to go out there and be great to win divisions, win playoff games. I'm going to live by those rules. And I think that if you can get something for Tyler Shuck, for Spencer Rattler, I'm all in for that. Jordan, you hear my rambling on that. Is there a market for Spencer Rattler?
Oh, without a doubt. And I also believe that Rattler himself would want to, go get a fresh start, go get an opportunity to play because, the writing's on the wall. He's not stupid. He understands that. He's been in his position before, honestly. Yeah. Shuck's the guy that came in, took your job. So there's no transfer portal. Can't just go hop in the portal now. But I think, he can, agents talk, work out a way to get out of New Orleans. And there's nothing to say that, Rattler, get him out of here or nothing. But again, if you can get something for somebody that wants an opportunity to go play somewhere and teams are going to call about him, other than what you want to get Derek Carr off the couch, now he probably will get picked up still. And we can get something for him too. But why not maximize on the asset that you're looking at that's probably not going to play at all? Well, doomsday scenario is that he is playing, so, you can get something else.
He's not likely to impact high-level games.
At all.
He might help you on October 3rd when Shuck has to miss the second half with a concussion, but he's not likely to impact playoff games. At least if I get an asset like a 6th-round pick, I got a shot to get somebody that might. Your shot is low, but you're playing in the margins in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody is crammed into this competitive thing, and you're just trying to find something that might give you a competitive edge. This does that, so I'm open to it. I hope they're able to work something out. All right, that's your Saints talk for this Wednesday. Take a time out. 30 minutes left to go. Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Check out Marucci. It's baseball season. It is softball season. Go see him over there at Marucci. It's where they make the official bat of Major League Baseball. I saw a great video today from Mesa, Arizona, of Alex Bregman hitting a home run. Makes me think about the crack of the bat, Major League Baseball, which I love. Official bat of Major League Baseball is made right here in Baton Rouge. Right here. You can take a tour and see where they make $1,200 a day, and they send them off to the best players in the world. World Baseball Classics coming up, you'll see Marucci bats. Major League Baseball season coming up, you'll see Marucci bats. And you can go see this cool spot in Baton Rouge and take a tour. Take your youth baseball team. Take your youth softball team. Take your family. Go by yourself. Go get a ticket at maruccisports.com/campus-tour. Every ticket comes with a 20% discount for that campus tour store and in the hitter's house. 20%. That's no joke. Check it out. It is Marucci.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information,
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
If you're cruising down Airline Highway today in Baton Rouge and you see that massive amount of orange equipment off to the side, that's Gotro's Outdoor Power. They've got an incredible amount of inventory over at Gotro's Outdoor Power, both Baton Rouge and Gonzales locations. If you're looking for a zero-turn mower, look no further than my friends at Gotro's Outdoor Power. They've been in business locally for better than 2 decades, locally owned and operated, and that's the difference. Like, you can get a zero-turn from the big box store. I'm not denying that. But what if you don't have a trailer? Are they going to bring it to you? What if you're looking for parts and service? Do you have a direct line to incredible customer service with a locally owned company? I'm asking you, do you? The answer is probably no. That's what separates the folks over at Gotro's Outdoor Power. They've got financing options. They can get you behind the wheel of a fantastic mower for $100 a month. That's less than you would pay for somebody to come cut your grass. So if you're looking for a hustler, go see them over there at Gotro's Outdoor Power. 2 locations, Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, of course, the Gonzales location as well. They've got a fantastic inventory, and the customer service is going to set them apart. Of course, they got an incredible parts warehouse as well, so if you're looking to get a tune-up here before that grass starts really growing, folks over at Gotro's Outdoor Power can help you. Check them out online at gotrosoutdoorpower.com. All right. Candidly, I saved this block open in case something broke, in case LSU baseball tweeted out a weekend rotation, in case LSU football there was a commitment that broke, in case the NCAA made some sort of ruling on Trinidad Chambliss. Like there's any number of things that could happen breaking news-wise. If that were to happen, I was going to talk about it here. It's 90 minutes into the show. That's 90 minutes for something to break. And it didn't. So what happens then? Well, it's not an empty block of the show. I can't just stop talking, though I might like to, because we'll talk basketball briefly. Last night was terrible. Awful. It was a 29-point win for Arkansas, only because LSU went on a 7-0 burst at the end of the game to cut it from 36 to 29. It was a 36-point deficit. LSU, once again, followed up a game in which they missed 16 straight threes back on Saturday with a 3 for 21 three-point shooting performance. You're just not going to beat anybody. When you're a bad defense and you can't shoot, you have no chance. And I go back to the bad defense, and I realize that we are taking a Marucci bat to a carcass here. Like, I get that. They're 2-9 in the league. It is what it is. And I'm not trying to paint any other set of rosy circumstances. It does puzzle me a little bit. And look, I'm not a basketball savant here. Nobody's calling me up to scheme it up for LSU or the Clippers anytime soon. But I'm watching LSU game after game after game get torched by opposing offenses. 50-point halves regularly. They gave up 91 points to Arkansas without two of their better scorers last night. And I just wonder why there's not a significant adjustment made. Now, there are adjustments made. They change their ball coverages, ball screen coverage at the top of the key. Sometimes they hard hedge. They switch some stuff 1 through 4. Like, they do some things a little bit differently, but you never see LSU get into a full court trapping situation. You never see LSU drop back into a 1-3-1 or pack it in a little bit. You just see LSU go out there, play man, change some ball screen coverages up front, and here we go. And they just get dusted. And that's frustrating to me. It's not as frustrating as it was 3 weeks ago because you know where we're sitting here. But it is frustrating. There are some critiques of Matt McMahon that I don't buy. I don't buy that he's too passive. I don't buy that he doesn't show enough emotion. I don't buy that he doesn't care. And I do buy that he was grossly undermanned his first and third years. So if you want to call those excuses or me not being hard enough or me being a homer, like, that's your prerogative, that's fine. I'm just telling you, I don't think he had a chance his first year. I don't think he had a chance his third year based on the strength of the conference and the investment that LSU and the booster base put into it. And I don't think that he doesn't care. And I also think he's a decent basketball coach. And the other thing that I will push back on is that Ja Morant got in the job. Ja Morant left. He went 31-4 and won a tournament game. Like, you think Ja, like, spurred the momentum for the next team that went 31-4 and won a tournament game? Like, he did plenty at Murray State without Ja Morant, and he found and recruited Ja Morant. So, like, that part I don't play either. But this is pitiful to watch. Both things can be true. There can be some reasons for shortcomings years 1 through 3. There can be some reasons why he's considered a pretty good basketball coach. And you can look at year 4 when the investment was significant and when he had an opportunity to go recruit, and you can look at the 2-9, and you can look at more. And the Deion Thomas and Reed injuries are real things, but they're not necessarily indicative of a team that can't defend. You didn't lose. Like, if you had a defense that was predicated on guys funneling drivers into Tyrus Thomas and him just erasing everything, and then Tyrus got hurt and you were bad on defense, then I would go, okay, well, they had a plan. It was a flawed plan. They lost the key to the plan. Now they stink. This team stunk on defense the whole time. He put together a team of skilled offensive players that don't shoot it well from 3 and can't play defense. So when they're playing well offensively, and Thomas was cooking on the pick and roll, and he was lobbing it to Nwoku, and McKinnon was scoring off the bounce, and Sutton found his way a little bit when Thomas got hurt, and like, they've got some guys that can play a little bit on offense, and they've scored some points on some decent teams. But they've never defended. And they've never done anything significantly different to improve the defense. And last night, Arkansas was running a track meet. They shot 56% for the game. 56% for the game. On the road. Well, do they light it up from 3 like some of those other teams that LSU's played? Like, no, they didn't. They shot 3 of 12 from 3. 3 of 12. They just got wherever they wanted. Darius Acuff got wherever he wanted. Did LSU ever send like 2 aggressive guys after him and just get the ball out of his hands? Not really. Couple of hedges on ball screens. And Acuff's a great player. I'm not telling you need to hold Acuff to 9 points on 3 of 13 shooting. But he went for 31 on you in Fayetteville, and then he came back 2 weeks later and got 28 with 5 assists. He's going to go in the lottery, but I'd like to do a little bit better job than that. Look, none of this is really about improving this year or what to do next year. I'll be honest with you, the listener. I'm not here. I'll be honest with you. This is just me being frustrated. It's me being frustrated. Because unlike a lot of people, right now, I do care about LSU basketball. Right now, it's very easy to go, baseball starts on Friday. Did you see that football portal class? Women's basketball's got a monster game on Saturday. How about that? Have you seen the gym team? They're pretty good. Like, it's easy to just take men's basketball and chuck it aside. I don't do that as easily. And this team's not going to get any better, and this team's going to go 3-15 in the league, and this team's toast. And that frustrates me a little bit. And I just told you at the top of the segment, if LSU had gotten a 3-star cornerback commitment today, I'd have talked about that instead of the basketball team playing a conference game. I was prepared to do that, but nothing happened, breaking news, so you get me venting and complaining about it. That's just the way it goes. We'll leave it in this contained segment, 12 minutes, but it bums me out to watch an LSU team that non-competitive again on their home floor. And you've seen now South Carolina come in here and win, and Kentucky come in here and break your heart, and Arkansas come in here and win. Mississippi State came in here and won. And nobody's at the games. It's just completely checked out. Completely checked out. There will be more people at the box watching batting practice an hour pregame on Friday afternoon during a work day than there were at an 8 o'clock basketball game last night. There's an element of sadness to that. And that's coming from somebody who loves that baseball program just deeply. I'd like more for the basketball team than to go out there and get annihilated by 29 points and it only looking that good because you went on a 7-0 run to end the game when you're down 36. Come back and close it out.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
This will cheer me up. Talking about trucks, affordable trucks at that. At Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Looking to get behind the wheel of a brand new truck? How about a Chevy Silverado? At Fabry Chevrolet GMC, you can get up to $11,000 off MSRP and look, 1.9% APR financing on those trucks. How about the Sierras? Even better, quite frankly. Up to $13,000 off MSRP, 0% APR financing. If that sounds like something you want to be introduced to, go see my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC on Highway 61 in St. Francisville. They've been under new ownership since October the 1st. You maybe didn't have the best experience in a car buying situation at some point previously. Go to Fabry Chevrolet GMC. I promise you will, because the Fabry family's been doing that for 35 years. Go get one of those Silverados. Go get a GMC Sierra. If you're looking for an SUV, they got those too. Tahoes, Yukons, Denali's. They're all there. You can check out the inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. They're on Highway 61 in St. Francisville and online at FabryChevrolet.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Okay, and what is our goal?
Less than 110.
That's right, less than 110.
We teach. We laugh. We pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide our hands during this procedure.
Hey, how we feeling today?
I'm feeling better. We heal.
You look better.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
We do all things
I got you. No way.
with great love. FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them.
Let's just take care of this right here.
Helping your roof to become the best version of itself.
Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel?
So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Interesting news out of Austin, Texas. Ruger Riojas, last year's Friday night starter, due to injury. He was kind of their closer midweek guy, came their Friday night guy. He's back in the Friday night spot. They'll go with Luke Harrison on Saturdays, who was their Saturday guy last year. And then Dylan Volantis, who was their superstar freshman closer last year, who we thought was going to do the Case and Evans move from the closer spot to the Friday night role. He'll start on Sunday. We'll see if Jay Johnson's thinking along those lines with Case and Evans this weekend. Again, I mentioned we'll hear from Jay Johnson tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and we'll talk about that tomorrow and see if he reveals a weekend rotation or anything that he's planning on doing this weekend. We'll certainly react to it on the show tomorrow. Our Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Looking to build that home of your dream? You can do it with my friends at Renaissance Homes and Pools. Joey Blanchard, been doing it for decades, a couple of them here in the Baton Rouge area. He's happy to build you that pool of your dream, and he's with you every step of the way. When you go to the consultation, he's there. Do the design, he's there. When that pool is dug, he's there. When they fill it, finish it, he's there. You know you're working with a local company, takes pride in their work, and that's right here in the city of Baton Rouge. So if you're looking for that pool and you're trying to get into it for the summer, right now is the time to make the call or go to the website, builtbyrenaissance.com. Looking for an outdoor kitchen, they got you. And if you want to build your forever home, Renaissance Homes and Pools can do that for you as well. I know a lot of folks like to get a lot of bids, like to look at different pricing for that build. Make Renaissance Homes and Pools one of those calls that you reach out to. Check them out online, builtbyrenaissance.com. All right, finish it up and take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Okay, so we're going to start this one off with a little baseball. So Baltimore Orioles second baseman Jackson Holliday and Arizona Diamondbacks star outfielder Corbin Carroll both broke the hamate bone in their right hands during batting practice and will undergo surgery Wednesday and Thursday. Carroll will be out of the World Baseball Classic, and both of them pretty much questionable for opening day. So this is mean baseball season is back. Breaking your hand in BP, take it or leave it.
It's the Warren Morris injury. Could mean great things for those teams. He had that broken hand, came back on the hamate, and hit that home run to win for LSU. Look, it's a bummer for those teams, bummer for the World Baseball Classic, but those guys will be back to full strength well before the All-Star break. They say that you can come back and play on it pretty quickly.
Okay.
The power takes some time to come back, apparently, according to those who have had it. So we'll see. Those are really good players, obviously. High-profile injuries. Francisco Lindor actually had the same injury, and he'll miss the World Baseball Classic and may not be there for opening day. But the hamate bone will it's just a break in the bone. It'll heal itself, and they'll be back. They'll be full strength by the middle of May.
Okay, so this one is very weird. So there's been a long saga going on between Jonathan Kuminga and head coach Steve Kerr, the Golden State Warriors. And the two have been at odds for some years now. So the Warriors traded Kuminga to the Hawks. But this was like the straw that broke the camel back. So according to Anthony Slater, the day before the two met on December 10th, there was like a heated discussion because Kuminga missed a team requested event, but his family went. And apparently they ate too much food in the family room. And that got the two to get into a heated discussion in the coach's locker room. So Family eating too much at the team party. Take it or leave it.
I'm leaving it. Let them have the food. It's there for the team party. Just let them eat some food. Everybody's rich. The organization's rich. Yeah. There's some nice hors d'oeuvres out there. You got some pulled pork sliders, maybe
something real
like
good.
that. Look at a shrimp taco. It's delicious. Let them have it. It's fine.
Literally, just for them to throw it out at the end of the night anyway. But, I guess that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What are you looking for at a wedding? I'm looking for some boudin balls to be passed around if I'm there at a wedding.
Wedding-wise, depends. So I used to be a DJ and did weddings. So it depends on a certain wedding. Like, I need higher class weddings. Like, I need like some like a meat little, like they cutting the meat right there.
Carving station.
Yeah, I need some of that. I need like drip some cheese. I just need something crazy, like something I can't get at a regular wedding. So to end this off, Victor Wembanyama scored a season-high 40 points in 26 minutes versus the Lakers. He scored 25 points in 8 minutes in the first quarter. So this guy, he's about to be one of the greatest of all time. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. Why not? Let's have some fun here on a Wednesday. I would suggest he's a unique player. Kevin Durant's close. Giannis is close.
Yeah.
He's bigger than them. I don't know that he shoots it quite like Durant.
Yeah, not like KD.
So I think it's fair to say that we've never seen anything quite like him, which would make him a unique player. I think it's going to be a great career to watch. You're watching LeBron and Durant kind of ride out here. Yeah. Steph's kind of on the way out as well. You still got some of the young guns like Luka and Shea and those guys that are great. But
yeah.
Giannis, Victor is something. So I think he could be an all-time great.
And to end this off, I've seen the Pelicans score less than 25 points in 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact he got 25 in 8 minutes, that says enough right there.
That happens twice a week in the Pels.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. We're on a 2-game win streak. Let me stop. We're on a 2-game win streak. Yeah,
positivity.
Yeah, we're on a 2-game win streak.
Speaking of positivity, tomorrow, last show of the offseason for LSU baseball. I'm excited to dive into some baseball, and we'll certainly continue that into Friday as they kick things off. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. We'll see you tomorrow for a Thursday edition of The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Look, if you got a home that was built around 1990, 95, even 2000, you could start to see some significant issues crop up, especially in the bathroom where plumbing is involved and water's constantly being used, and that can cause malfunctions and issues. Don't just call the handyman down the street and hand him some cash, say, hey, can you get this fixed up? Call David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. They've been doing it for 30 years. They've got a master plumber on retainer, and they can come in and make sure things are working properly. And if you need to put in a new shower, they got you. If you need to put in a new tub, they got you. They need a new bathroom in totality, they've got you. They can do it all at One Bath and Closets. Get that free consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. Ask about financing. They got 0% for 18 months, same as cash. It's David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. You can find them online at onebathandclosets.com.
Make Raising Cane's the first stop for your second line. Get extra saucy with a Cane's the Blue